Extreme Foolishness TV here. This is where I talk about extreme foolishness that goes on around you. I'm going to be talking about the Jussie Smollett conviction. The jury found him guilty on 5 out of 6 counts. Pretty much he was found guilty for disorderly conduct for lying to the police. And this whole case started from Jussie Smollett saying he left his house like at 2 a.m. He was going home at 2 a.m. and he was attacked by 2 guys. They called him gay slurs and they said this is MAGA country, that they put a noose around his neck and he was beaten and was attacked. It happened. The whole story was fake. You know, he faked a hate crime on him. He got caught. And the sad part is that the Chicago Police Department said they spent over $100,000 investigating him. I mean, investigating the case, the fake crime that he said happened to him. Police officers responded because, I mean, if somebody said he was being attacked by some folks, and he said that they called him racial slurs and said this is MAGA country, the police department is most likely going to take it seriously as a hate crime. But this guy was a liar. And he knew he was a liar. He got busted. The guys he hired to fake the crime with, they folded and confessed. He paid them and said he paid them for personal training services. And I mean, and the charges were initially dropped, I think, by the prosecutor. And after they dropped the charge, had he kept quiet, they probably would have never brought another charge. After they dropped the charge, he did a press conference and said, I've been honest all along. That's how much of a fool this guy is.
I want you to know that not for a moment was it in vain. I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of. This has been an incredibly difficult time, honestly one of the worst of my entire life.
He said, I've been honest all along. Had he kept quiet the first time they dropped the charges against him, I don't know he knows in Chicago, but he knows some people, because they dropped the charge against him. He went out there and pretty much made a fool of the city of Chicago Police Department and the city of Chicago. They knew he lied. The investigators knew he lied. The boys he hired, the Austin Dyro brothers, they confessed. He could have just said, I'm sorry, blah, 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 and everything would have been over. No, this guy's so much of a maniac. He has so much ego. He now went and gave a press conference and said, I've been honest all along. I've been truthful all along. And the city of Chicago Police Department got mad. They got leave it. So what? We spent all this time and effort to investigate a fake crime. We know it's a fake crime. We caught you. For some reason, the prosecutor dropped the charges at first. And you're going to come out there and say, you've been honest? What did they do? They hired a special prosecutor. And the special prosecutor said he took the case for free. That's how much they were willing to go to prove and show that this guy is a fucking liar. And a proud egomaniac. So the law firm was made a special prosecutor for this case to prosecute Jussie Smollett. The special prosecutor took the case, investigated it, re-indicted Jussie Smollett, took the case to trial. And what do people who have ego do, like Jussie Smollett? He took the stand. How stupid can you be? How much of a fool can you be? You know you lied. You know your story's BS. You know you got busted. And you're going to take a stand in a jury trial and try to BS 12 people? Oh my God. Where do they make people like Jussie Smollett? You took a press conference. You did a press conference at first, lied on the press conference again, saying you've been honest and truthful all along. Because of that statement, you were re-indicted. You now testify in front of a jury for hours, lying. I've done several jury trials. It is hard to BS 12 people. There's a reason the jury system works. It's not perfect, but damn, it's hard to BS 12 people. So he sat on the stand, testified, and lied for hours, thinking 12 people are stupid, thinking everybody is stupid, thinking because as an actor, you're going to go in a courtroom and act. The Empire series is not the courtroom. Courtroom is real. There's no, let's run another take in the courtroom. Action. No. Cut that scene. No. It's none of that. There's no editing. You don't take the courtroom testimony and take it and edit it and send it to the jury. There's no special effects in the courtroom. This is real life, player. Now he's been convicted of 5 counts. Could face 3 years in prison. And let me give a shout out. Let's give a shout out to the jury. Who else are we going to shout out? Let's give a shout out to the special prosecutor. Thank you, special prosecutor, for taking this case pro bono and making sure this guy gets convicted because he's an extreme fool. And to me, this is just how prideful people and people who have a lot of ego, this is how they sink themselves. The pride was just too much. Just to come out and say, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I made it up. Apologize to the City of Chicago Police Department. Had he done that, they would have just left it all alone. They wanted to prove a point. They wanted a public trial. They wanted the public to know that this guy is a liar. And it's sad because there are victims of hate crimes out there. True victims of hate crime who actually get victimized because of their sexual orientation, their race, their sexual preference, their sex, for whatever it is. There are victims of hate crimes out there. So when someone goes out there and makes a false statement to a police officer, files a false police report, lies about a crime, it does a disservice to the true victims of crime. It does a big disservice. So that is why I'm not sympathetic towards Jussie Smollett. He had too many opportunities to tell the truth and ask for, forgiveness and be contrite. No, there was no contrition in Jussie Smollett. He was stoic at heart and was steadfast in his lies up until the trial. And I'm sure he's still saying right now that it was a true story. Like he's so much of a fool. He's lied so much. He's starting to believe his own lies. Thinking reality is all scripted. He thinks this is an Empire show or something. So I'm glad he's been convicted. I hope that the judge gives him the maximum time. Because people who are not remorse need to do a lot of time. They need to do the maximum time. If it's 3 years, at least let him do some time in prison. So this will send a message to people out there who want to fake a crime to get some fake sympathy. That you don't do that kind of stuff. Not if the Chicago Police Department spent about $100,000 to investigate it. And I hope the court orders him to pay the Chicago Police Department whatever it costs to investigate his fake crime. I think that would be the right thing to do. He needs to do at least the maximum. If it's 3 years in prison, I believe, 3 years in prison, let him do it. And let him pay the Chicago Police Department whatever it costs them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think he should do the maximum time in prison? Do you think he should pay the Chicago Police Department for whatever it costs them to investigate this fake crime? Do you think his story was made up? Do you think his story was real? Let the conversation continue in the comments. If you're a new subscriber, put new subscriber in the comments, and I'll respond to you and thank you. Appreciate you guys. Stop the foolishness, people. Stay away from extreme fools like Jussie Smollett. And most importantly, say no to extreme foolishness.